Welcome into another episode of HawksNest. I'm your host, Justin Trevelyan. Joined with me today are Caleb Hoggard and Owen Carando. And guys, it's the home stretch for a lot of the fall SEMO sports here. You look at volleyball going on the road this weekend against Murray State. Owen, what do you think needs to happen this weekend and then in regards to the bigger picture of the season?
I think this weekend, you're traveling to Murray State, and you're the only team in the top three that is on the road this weekend. I mean, UT Martin goes on the road to face Austin Peay at home, and then Morehead State is at home against Belmont, which are two not very good teams. They're at the kind of the bottom of the OVC standing. So if you're SEMO here, you really kind of, best situation, best case, you take both sets here this weekend, you win both matches, and you come back home and face Morehead State, and then you only have to win one match to tie with them. And then if you can take the other one, then you'll be in sole possession for the first place. But when it really comes down to it, you got to look at what Austin Peay does. They're in second place or third place, I believe. They're kind of the buffer between these two teams. And when it comes down to it, SEMO swept Austin Peay at home. You have the big series upcoming next weekend against Morehead State. But if you're able to win out, you kind of secure that first spot in the OVC.
It's definitely what you want. You definitely want to have that first seed going into the tournament. And then moving on to football, they're on a bye week this weekend. Next week they travel to Murray State for the actual conference game this time. And Caleb, you look at last time, SEMO got beat on that last second field goal. What do you think needs to happen next weekend in order to prevent that?
You know, when it comes to games like that, it's all about clock management. I mean, like EIU, they went into that game 9-7 at halftime. EIU was up, and SEMO just ran the ball down their throats. Ended up scoring all those points in the second half. Just great clock management. Didn't even give them the time and chance to breathe on defense. And I think if you're going to face Murray State, like you obviously saw that the team is capable enough to put points up against that defense. And if you continue to run the ball with Geno Hess, who has been having a phenomenal last few games, keep building off that. It's all about momentum with those players. CJ Ogbonna, quarterback, he had a great game against EIU. So if you just use good clock management, run the ball well, defense puts up stands late during the game, feel pretty good about SEMO versus Murray State.
Definitely. Then you move on to soccer. I mean, SEMO soccer is playing the best soccer of their season so far going into this tournament. I mean, winning their last two games and now in the semifinal against SIUE, which last outing against SIU didn't go as planned, losing 3-1. But, they're playing so good right now, and if they can keep that defense up that they've been playing these last couple games, if they can get some points on the board, we might see them in the championship game. Then moving on to the early season of basketball is coming up. Owen, what do you think about the men's team? They're fourth in the preseason standings. So how do you think that's going to go this season?
I think that's just about right for the men's team. I mean, it's Coach Brad Corn's second year here now at SEMO, and you really only lost two seniors. So the players have kind of got to know the system. They've played with each other for 1 year under this system, and really, I think you're going to be able to see a really good team this year.
And then moving on to the women's side, what do you think about that this year?
The women's side is a totally different story. I mean, you lose two of your biggest players, and they're preseason ranked 6th. And now when you look at it, I mean, yes, you lost your biggest scorer and your best defensive player, and Tecia Thompson and Latrice Sane, but they brought in a lot of transfers. So when you look at it, it's like if they can step up and fill maybe just half the void, you're still going to see, I would say, a top 4 team from this women's basketball in the OVC standings.
I would definitely agree. I mean, bringing in these transfers, they're not freshmen. They have game experience. They know what they're doing. And then having a healthy Taylor Pruitt makes all the difference in the world, I think. She had some injuries last season, but if she can stay healthy, I think this team can make some noise in the OVC. This has been another episode of HawksNest. Thanks for watching.